Hey everybody, Justin Joseph here, ready to offer you my take on Midway's attempt to keep the setting of Area 51 a meaningful gaming environment with BlackSite Area 51 on the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. Let's check it out. So the game has you control American Special Forces operative Aaron Pierce and opens up as you trek through an underground weapons complex somewhere in Iraq with two squad mates. Well, one of them, who happens to be a close friend, ends up left behind and a bunch of aliens begin to make their presence known, and it all just goes down the crapper from there. As exciting as that may sound, what I just mentioned is pretty much the most intriguing part of the campaign, even when you return to the States. BlackSite may promote a consistent mission structure, but at the same time, it's extremely linear and repetitive, and given that just about every area you patrol is more or less lifeless, with the exception of the reborn aliens you're fighting, it just doesn't make this the most interesting game ever. The visuals may be nice, but they aren't spectacular, which isn't helping anything, especially the all of three major enemy types. The experience is boosted in a positive way in part due to the excellent controls. Midway designed your movement to make the guns have the illusion that they actually weigh something, which makes firefights sort of a rush when the action becomes intense. I swear, lining up a Reborn with the red dot sight on your M4 carbine feels satisfying. Well, most of the time. Grenades are also great fun to use, from the pull of the pin to the appropriate explosion that sends an enemy flying. It's just disappointing that the weapon variety just isn't there. You're limited to the carbine, a pistol, and maybe a sniper rifle, and the Reborns only have a few that can be picked up as well. You may end up nabbing an anti-tank missile launcher a couple times, but what you use it on isn't particularly interesting. The same goes for the audio. It just isn't anything eye-opening. The dialogue is at times chuckle-worthy and witty, but the game's characters never really build any meaningful relationships. The weapon effects may be appropriate enough to keep gun battles convincing, but the music is practically non-existent. It does kick up a notch when the action does, but that's pretty much the extent of its influence. Midway tried to make up for all the game's shortcomings and overall empty feeling by implementing online multiplayer for up to 16 Xbox Live or PlayStation Network gamers. Well, it's certainly not a bad offering, but it's nothing great either, considering the formula is something we saw in the N64's GoldenEye with weapon and status pickups. It's basically a race to see who can pick up the best stuff first and blast everyone else away. When there's competition out there that offers much better experiences, it makes playing this a quick afterthought. So it's really up to you to decide how to approach a game with a campaign that can be finished in 1/4 of a day's time, multiplayer that isn't too memorable, but kick-butt controls and a slightly entertaining plot. In the case of myself and Project COE, BlackSite Area 51 receives a 6/6 out of 10, but it's obviously up to you whether or not the game is worth a rent or a full investment. It is a solid shooter in its own right, but it just doesn't do enough to really wow us in a next-gen environment. For more information, please take a look at the review on our site, and as always, stick with us for all your latest gaming information. Thanks for your time, everybody, and we'll be back soon.